As you will have seen on high hills in the high country, there's a lot of farms that are producing more than the traditional. Emma caught up with someone who's keeping more than just her toes cosy.
A rural boutique business that started with a love of wanting to keep her children warm.
I noticed that there was no warm socks for them on the market, and it was because of my upbringing that I knew about wool, and so one thing led to another.
That upbringing was in North Canterbury. Tracy Robinson spent her holidays lambing, feeding out and sharing with her dad and grandfather.
I guess that's where my knowledge has come from. My mother was a knitter, and she we would say, oh, you know, I wanted a jersey made, and she'd go, oh, but it's not wool, or, you know, and so all this was getting inbred in me, I guess. And Dad would point out into the shearing shed. He would sort of say, oh, your hand's nice and soft, oh, that's the lanolin, or he would, you know, pull out the fleece and say, oh, this is a really good fleece, you know, feel how strong it is.
Which left Tracy curious. Just where was all the woolen clothing for her two children?
I just started looking at finding out where had all our wool gone in New Zealand, and where had all our wool clothing gone in New Zealand, and what had happened to our manufacturers. So then kind of looked at all the history, so did a lot of research online.
Looking for a product like no other.
It's like gold. You just couldn't get a better fibre for dressing your children in.
Marking the early days of the Cosy Toes business.
I suppose I'm quite a practical person. I decided to do something about it and bring these little socks back onto the market.
And with a little nudge in the right direction from her family, the business took off, now operating out of here, a small shop at the back of her rural home in Rotherham.
I think it was my brother that sort of said, oh, God, you need to add to this business. And then I found a local factory that did clothing, well, merino clothing, and so added to that. And then now I sort of just grow with what my customers are looking for, and what I can see is there's a gap in the market.
So it all started with the baby socks, did it?
Yes, yeah. This was the first style of socks that I started with, and also for children as well. So yeah, it's still as strong as ever, and yeah, still just as popular. So customers reorder these. Basically, their children are growing out of them rather than the socks wearing out, which is really good.
But it's not just baby socks as well. You've got another whole range here.
Yes, yeah. So sort of 6 months after I began, I recognised that there wasn't much merino wear for babies on the market either, so began manufacturing baby wear as well in merino, so this as well.
It'll be clothes
and then also just in the last few months there seems to be more of a demand for school uniform merino as well, so we've been manufacturing a bit of merino wear for underneath school uniforms, strict school uniform regulations, and socks and tights, which seem to be, great to get the merino back into the school wear as well.
So that's just part of it evolving, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
And all skincare and things as well, I see.
Yes, yeah, just added a little bit of skincare. Those that know wool know that lanolin is in wool and great for the skin. So yeah, it's just all added interest to the business.
These products aren't unique to New Zealand. Tracy sends them all over the world, including Australia and the United States.
I've had an order that's been to Alaska, of all places. So yeah, just bits and bobs go here and there.
Defying the odds about needing a piece of paper to prove she's capable of running a successful business. She's even won awards for it.
I have no qualifications. I've learnt a lot along the way of actual having to do the things and watching what others do. I've got other friends in business and probably watch what they do and not copy, but think, oh, that's a good idea. I can use that in my own business, and but all aspects of the business I do myself, and it's learning along the way. I read a lot.
Being a rural-based business, social media has played a large role in keeping Tracy connected with her customers, as well as a useful tool to help keep it running.
Cosy Toes is on Facebook, and this is also a crucial part of keeping in touch with my customers. So I think if you didn't use social media now in a business like mine, you'd be pretty much struggling.
What type of things do you post on your Facebook? Do you just messages or?
Well, what I'm doing, messages from me, messages of interest about the wool industries, trying to keep it all related, new product launches, competitions, giveaways, yeah, anything new really of interest.
When those orders come in thick and fast, the scene of this tidy shop is much different. It's pretty tidy in here today, but this isn't what it normally looks like, is it?
No. What happens is the orders come through and then they're printed off, and I basically am pulling things off the shelves and out of boxes, and then just putting them in their rows and putting them on the floor, and then they just get all bagged up and ready to go.
But where to next for this boutique rural business?
Who knows where it'll go, but it's a big wide world out there.
Tracy's done a good job at proving no matter what size town you come from, you can be just as successful as those in the big city.
So that's our high heels in the high country. Join us again when we introduce you to more interesting women doing some interesting things in what is a very interesting countryside.